Hello and welcome to Panorama Health. Our today's lesson is about anatomy images. I will show you the image of the bone, then you have 5 seconds to guess which bone it is. Let's get started. Can you name this bone? Yeah, this bone is clavicle. Clavicle connects the upper limb to the trunk. Can you name this bone? It is scapula. Scapula is the shoulder blade. Question number 3. What is this bone called? This bone is called humerus, which is the bone of the upper arm. Can you name this bone? This bone is called radius. It is thumb side bone of the forearm. Can you name this bone? This bone is called ulna, little finger side of the forearm. This is called ulna and this bone is called radius. What is this bone called? This bone is called the sternum. The breastbone is called the sternum. Question number 7. Can you name this bone? This bone is called femur. It is the strongest and the longest bone of the body. What is this bone called? Patella. The kneecap is called patella. Can you name this bone? It is called tibia. Tibia. The main weight-bearing bone of the lower leg is called tibia. Okay, let's continue. Question number 10. Can you name this bone? It is the fibula. Fibula is the slender lateral bone of the lower leg. Can you name this bone? It is the mandible. The mandible forms the lower jaw bone. Can you name this bone? It is called the maxilla. This bone forms the upper jaw. What is this bone called? The frontal bone. This bone forms the forehead and part of the orbit. Can you guess the name of this bone? This bone is called parietal bone. This bone forms much of the roof and side of the skull. Can you name this bone? It is the occipital bone. This bone forms the back and the base of the skull. 16. What is this bone called? It is the temporal bone. Temporal bone is located on the side of the skull near the ear. Can you guess the name of this bone? It is the zygomatic bone. The zygomatic bone forms the prominence of the cheek. What is this bone called? It is the nasal bone. Forms the bridge of the nose. What is this bone called? Can you guess its name? It is called sphenoid bone. Sphenoid bone is a complex bone at the base of the skull. What is this bone called? It is the ethmoid bone. Ethmoid bone contributes to the nasal cavity and orbit. Question number 21. Can you name this bone? It is the sacrum. Sacrum connects the spine to the pelvis. Question number 22. Can you name this bone? It is the coccyx bone. We call it the tailbone. Question number 23. Can you name this bone? It is the talus bone. Talus bone helps form the ankle joint. Question number 24. Can you name this bone? It is the calcaneus bone. It is the bone that forms the heel. Question number 25. What is this bone called? It is the hyoid bone. The U-shaped bone in the neck is called hyoid bone. Question number 26. Can you name this bone? It is the scaphoid. The scaphoid is a carpal bone of the wrist. Question number 27. What is this bone called? It is the lunate. Lunate is a carpal bone in the proximal wrist row. 28. Can you name this bone? It is called triquetrum. It is a carpal bone on the ulnar side. 29. Can you guess the name of this bone? It is the pisiform bone. A small pea-shaped carpal bone is called pisiform. Question number 30. Can you name this bone? Trapezium. Trapezium articulates with the first metacarpal. Let's continue question number 31. Can you name what this bone is called? It is the trapezoid bone. Trapezoid bone is a distal row carpal bone. Question number 32. Can you guess the name of this bone? It is called capitate. Capitate is the largest carpal bone. Okay, question number 33. Can you name this bone? It is called hamate bone. Hamate bone is a carpal bone with a distinctive hook. Question number 34. Can you guess the name of this bone? It is called navicular bone. Navicular bone is a medial tarsal bone. Question number 35. Our total questions are 50 and we are left with 15 more questions. Now let's dive. Now let's Now we are at 35. Can you name this bone? It is the cuboid bone. The cuboid bone is a lateral tarsal bone. Question number 36. What is this bone called? It is the medial cuneiform. The medial cuneiform bone is the largest cuneiform bone. Question number 37. What is this bone called? It is the intermediate cuneiform, and this is the smallest cuneiform bone. Question number 38. What is this bone called? It is the lateral cuneiform. The lateral cuneiform is between the intermediate cuneiform and the cuboid. Question number 39. Can you guess the name of this bone? It is the metacarpal bone. Metacarpal bone is one of the 5 long bones of the hand. Question number 40. We are left with 10 questions. Can you name the name of this bone? The metatarsal bone. Metatarsal bone is one of the 5 long bones of the foot. 41. What is this bone called? It is the atlas bone. Atlas bone is the first clavicle vertebra or C1. 42. What is this bone called? It is the axis bone or C2. This bone is the second cervical vertebra, has the dens. Question number 43. Can you guess the name of this bone? It is the thoracic vertebra. The vertebra that articulates with the ribs is called the thoracic vertebra. Question number 44. Can you name this bone? It is the lumbar vertebra. The weight-bearing vertebra is called the lumbar vertebra. Question number 45. Can you guess the name of this bone? It is the ilium. The broad superior part of the hip bone is called ilium. Question number 46. What is the name of this bone? It is the ischium bone. Ischium bone is the posterior inferior part of the hip bone. 47. What is this bone called? It is the pubis bone. The pubis bone is the anterior part of the hip bone. Number 48. Can you name this bone? It is the greater wing of the sphenoid. It contributes to the middle cranial fossa. To the question 49. What is this bone called? It is the styloid process of the temporal bone. The styloid process of the temporal bone is a slender projection below the ear. Last but not the least, question number 50. Can you name this bone? It is called the occipital bone or foramen magnum. It contains the large foramen magnum. How many of these questions you got right? Put your score in the comment section and don't forget to subscribe for more medical quizzes like this. I'll bring you more. See you guys soon.